It is the 11th race of the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season, and it's here at the biggest and fastest oval racetrack on the schedule. It is the Talladega Superspeedway for the Aaron's 499. Chaos around every corner at this racetrack. We'll see which of the 42 drivers can claim victory here at Talladega. I'm Joe Rokowski. Alongside me in the booth, it is Trey Bardo. Trey, you've won here many times in your career. Something about the Superspeedway style racing with Talladega suited your style. What do you think is going to happen here with these 42 drivers at Talladega? As many of these teams, Trey, they know it's one of their only opportunities to get a victory in the season.
Easy. I think the reason why, I had such great success here is because it's a track base that you put the throttle down and you don't lift.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It is that simple, but at points it can get a little more complicated when you're back in the pack. You're running 3 and 4 wide, and you have to try and funnel it down into a corner which is a little bit narrower than the straightaways that we see here at Talladega, so it can get interesting at times. The last time we were here at Talladega in the fall, we saw many crashes with about 3 or 4 different accidents happening throughout the race. However, in the spring last season, we didn't see too much chaos. We saw an early yellow flag, but we also saw Evan Hunter get his first ever victory in the Winston Cup Series, and same with Sebastian Kukulan in the race later in the season. So we'll see if we can get another first-time Talladega winner and a first-time Winston Cup Series winner here at Talladega, but maybe someone who wants to try and change that trend, Trey, is the man starting in 4th place, Lathan Strickland. His teammate Eli Bright, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Lathan 4th in qualifying, but he had some major news to break before practice and qualifying the day before, where he announced that he'll be leaving DEI to drive the number 48 Frederick Motorsports for the next 2 seasons. And Trey, while it seems like, just thinking about the move, that it's going to be a positive move, right, from DEI to the powerhouse of Hendrick Motorsports, when you look at the teams on paper in this 2002 season, you see that DEI has actually outperformed Hendrick Motorsports. Hendrick only has one driver inside the top 15 in points, that's Brett Sierra. DEI has all 3 of their cars inside the top 15 in points, with Lathan in 14th being the lowest of them. Hendrick only has 4 top 5s among their 4 drivers this season. It's by both Zidell and Rando. They both have 2. They only have 8 top 10s, which is the same amount that Keyshawn Richardson has, the points leader. So Trey, on paper, it actually doesn't look that good. But is there going to be something that Lathan sees in the future of Hendrick, which is the reason why he made the move, or did he possibly make the move too soon? We know these moves can be made earlier in the season.
I don't know. I'm hoping he made the move thinking that he's going to stay in the 48, because this is now the 3rd confirmed driver within not even half a season for that team. So we'll have to see how it goes, because we've seen in the past that switching out drivers in one car is definitely going to hurt it. And this 48 still struggles from time to time. So we'll have to see how the future holds for them.
And something that Hendrick Motorsports really needs to find is some consistency and just something to make their drivers happier so far this season. Here at Talladega, qualifying was once again a disappointment for all 4 cars. Jay Brando, the high starter, in 11th. No Hendrick cars will start inside the top 10 here today. Keegan Thompson failed inspection. He started back in 42nd. Justin Zidell qualified 39th on pure pace. And Trey, the drivers that seemed to get antsy. Keegan Thompson was animated and livid over the radio at Dover last race, saying something needs to change in these cars. We are a winning team. We are better than this. Justin Zidell now, after qualifying 39th on speed at Talladega, said something needs to change. This is unacceptable. Trey, the drivers are angry. You have to think at some point team owner Ryan Wilson needs to make some sort of change within the organization to get them back on the right track that they were in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to have to do with this team, Joe. Does he look down in the future, or does he look now?
Yeah, that is something interesting to think about. Maybe moving to 4 cars was more of a long-term gain and a short-term loss. We'll have to see, Trey, if next season they can try and improve on it.
Yeah, and I'm you know that you and me will be up in this booth watching the progress of them. But if it continues like it is now, Joe, we might watch a major team here slowly start to disappear.
And you talked about making progress. One team that has made so much progress over the offseason was Richard Childress Racing. They got 1 win last season, and it was here at Talladega, kind of more of a wild card race. This season, Trey, all 3 of their drivers are inside the top 5 in points, and all 3 have a shot to leave as the points leader here at Talladega. The points tightened up at Dover, with Kukulan with a poor finish, Keyshawn Richardson winning the race. Richardson is the new points leader. Kukulan sits 2nd, Evans in 3rd, Burnett in 4th, Atkins in 5th, and Trey, all 5 of those drivers have a shot to leave Talladega as the points leader. It's still very close 10 races in.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how fast that RCR switched their stuff around. I mean, they went from championship winning in 2000 to kind of not even there in 2001, and now back in 2002 they're back to, honestly, I'd argue, the top team in the series right now with how consistent they are. So we'll have to see if they can work together here at Talladega and, get one of their cars into victory lane, or if it, even better, finish all three in the top 10.
Yeah, currently entering this race, it is a battle between RCR and Roush Racing for the points lead, with 2 Roush guys going against 3 RCR guys. It'll be a treat to watch. We have Atkins and Evans starting inside the top 5, with Evans in 3rd, Atkins in 5th, Burnett starting in 10th, Keyshawn Richardson and Fevros back in 16th, and then we also have Kukulan, who was the points leader entering Dover, starting back outside the top 20 in 22nd. But there's a lot that's going to be happening here at Talladega. We'll go down trackside, fire these cars up for 38 laps of action around the Talladega Superspeedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
In their roll, the 42 cars to do battle the NR2003 at the Talladega Superspeedway. And starting in 5th place, Trey. He's currently 5th in points, but he's still never won a NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. That's Justin Atkins. However, his team owner brags on him at these Superspeedway style races, says he is the best driver at these drafting racetracks. Well, Trey, he can prove it today by getting that first ever Winston Cup Series victory.
Yeah, it would definitely be something if he can pull it off today. But Joe, just because he doesn't have a win doesn't mean he's not fast. I mean, consistency is key with these championships. And like you said, he's in top 5 in points, and he's shown to be strong.
He is shown to be strong. We'll see if he can try and get it done here today at the NR2003 at the Talladega Superspeedway. A few rows back of that, starting in 13th place, is the number 88 of Luke Rainey. Trey, it's been kind of a down year for Luke. However, Dover was a positive. He moved up many positions in points, got another top 10 on the season. Entering Dover, Trey, only had 1 top 10 on the season, 1 top 5. He got a 2nd top 10 at Dover. Can he continue that momentum here at Talladega?
Yeah, Luke's definitely one of those type of guys who's not in the best equipment, but once his team gets rolling there, it looks like it just never stops until, he ends up not finishing a race for one reason or another. So hopefully today he can survive this madness at Dega and finish with another top 10.
And then just inside the top 30 to start, welcome back to the Winston Cup Series, Jack Haas, who had to sit out last race. Jason Albert did a great job filling in, got that 77 car, a lot of owners' points, and now Trey Haas is back at the scary Talladega Superspeedway, starting inside the top 30. Can he be an upset winner to try and get that first ever win?
I actually went down to the garage area and talked with him after practice there and was asking him about it. He said he is a little nervous coming back after to do a track like this after a scary accident like he had, but he said his main reason was because he feels like this is his best opportunity to get a win. So we'll have to see if he can take that motivation and end up in victory lane.
Well, we know that number 717 won a Superspeedway race last season with Ronald Kennington at Daytona. We'll see if they can get one at Talladega with Jack Haas. The pace car is in. 38 laps at the Talladega Superspeedway. The man has been fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Eli Bright on pole for the NR2003. Riley Spurgeon was 6th in the points to his outside. He's had a quiet season. We'll see if he can deliver a victory for Robert Yates Racing as we're green flag racing in the NR2003. Well, Trey, they fly down the backstretch. They're already fanning out down to that yellow line as everyone tries to get to the inside lane, the preferred lane. They're 3 wide further back in the pack. At the front of the field, 2 cars, single file, Eli Bright and Conrad Evans. Here comes Evans' teammate Atkins and Jamie Stanmore Jr. The front 4 break away. Here comes Atkins on teammate Conrad Evans as they enter into the trial. Eli Bright from pole. Trey's going to lead the first lap, it looks like.
Joe, it's only lap 1. We're already 4 and 3 wide in the pack.
Yeah, mostly 3 wide. There was 1 row of 4 wide coming off turn number 4. They sorted it out. Now, Evans and Eli Bright trying to stay clear. Atkins, for the second time, looked for a dive on teammate Evans, but couldn't make it stick down to the inside. Now, Jay Rando moves up to 4th. And the winner of this race last season, Evan Hunter, already inside the top 5, train that number 36.
I mean, Joe, right now, you can't really pick a winner right now. I mean, right now, everyone's in this survival game, trying to get to the end here. But with the way they're moving, it does not look like they're really trying to take it easy. It seems like everyone wants to get up front to avoid the accident in the back. But honestly, if they keep racing like this, they might be the accident up front.
Yeah, the accident can always happen at the front of the field, too. It's never like, oh, the accident always happens around 25th place. The accident could happen going for 3rd place or even going for the lead if they're going aggressive enough.
Well, sometimes, Joe, 25th place is in 3rd place.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. Here comes Evan Hunter going for 2nd place on Conrad Evans. That number 36, Trey, didn't look too good in qualifying, but here he's in the race with some good pace, just like we saw last season. So Evan Hunter looking to go back-to-back in the spring Talladega races, moves up to 2nd place behind pole sitter Eli Bright. And here comes Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Hates these racetracks. He talks about how much he hates superspeedway-style racing, but here he's moving up. But to the inside comes Colin Teague 3 wide, and Mathis Wells looks to go middle of 4 in that number 20.
I don't know what they put into this number 8 here, but he is blocking all 3 lanes, and I've never seen a car this wide as there's 4 wide in the back again. Almost 5 wide it looks like, but these guys are going absolutely crazy right now.
Yes, they are for sure. You can see from afar as they enter into the trial. Still that number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet leading the way. You can see how crazy that pack is getting. 4 wide, about multiple rows deep. And now the first challenge for the lead from Eli Bright. It is number 17 of Matthew Burnett going to the inside, trying to lead that for 5 bonus points because Trey, he's one of those 5 drivers that could leave Talladega as the points leader.
Yeah, definitely, and this is what he needs to do right here. Get this lap, out front, and then here, but actually, you know what? He's not even going to be able to do it because, they're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Well, look, he got a good push from Eli Bright.
Actually, he got it.
Yeah, he got a good push from Eli Bright. Those two slowed each other down. The inside, Jacob Miller made a move, but then Jack Carter made a bigger move. And now the number 21 moves to 2nd place, and Matthew Burnett trying to hang on for about a mile more to get back around through the tri-oval and lead this lap, this 4th lap, for 5 bonus points. Kukulon, 2nd in points, almost spun by Jordan Edwards. They merge back up. Everyone gives them room. What a great save by those 2 drivers.
How did they stay with the pack?
Yeah, that's also impressive. And I think Kukulon may have actually gained spots from that, the number 29.
I mean, it's legal, so you might as well do it, right?
Yeah, take that shortcut whenever you can. He might want someone to spin him off turn 4 the next time, too. Might gain some more spots.
That was probably a little scary for him, but I mean, if it works out, it works out. But, Joe, I was going to say, did you notice that pack, how they're about 5 rows deep of 4 wide, and it almost turned out ugly.
Well, we're looking 4 wide for the lead. It's Tim Gary making the big move in the number 10, forcing the Roush guys to the outside, Laura Chung to the middle. Tim Gary moves out in front here at Talladega. Brandon Beal from a 4 starting spot is up to 2nd, and Keegan Thompson Trey started 42nd, shotgun on the field within 5 laps. He's up inside the top 3 to battle for the lead.
You mentioned it in the pre-race. He's definitely been the more vocal guy from the Hendrick stable about how not up to par they've been this season. But right now, I mean, looks like that number 5's got speed, and he's going to about to take the lead here coming into 1 and 2.
Well, when we think of super speedways, Trey, we might think of Keegan Thompson. Won the 2000 Daytona 500, followed up with a win in this race in 2000. So Keegan has multiple super speedway wins under his belt. Another man with a super speedway win under his belt is the number 12 Mitchell Collins. He looked for the lead, but now Riley Spurgeon goes 3 wide with help from Jose Mills. And here comes Jack Haas on the inside, being aggressive like you mentioned, Trey. He's trying to move up inside the top 3 here as he's 3rd on the inside lane.
These guys are absolutely crazy right now, Joe. I mean, look how spread out they are. And for those of you who, might be curious, like, how come whenever they were 4 wide at Daytona, they were always wrecking, but now we're 4 wide here. And, we're somewhat keeping it clean, minus the very close call with the guy who's now 3rd on the bottom line. And, I mean, it's as simple. It's just track is wider, so these guys have more room around each other. You could do 4 wide pretty easily, but, I mean, if you get in that area where it's 5 wide, that's the time you're going to have a scrapyard on the backstretch.
That's a great point, Trey, that this track is about a lane and a half wider than what we see at Talladega, or at Daytona here at Talladega. So definitely this track more keen to run 4 wide as now we're going 3 wide for the lead. Keyshawn Richardson saw his championship rival at this moment, Sebastian Kukulon, go for the lead, but now Richardson moves out to the inside, help from Diego Yepes, and the number 99, the points are trying to get back around and lead this lap for 5 bonus points, something Kukulon has not yet gotten in this race.
We'll have to see if he's going to be able to get to the run to the inside or if that 99 of Richardson has the power up top. So far, he's there. He's going to shut the door on him, and I think this is going to be Richardson's lap.
Yes, it is. So the points leader gets a lap led for 5 bonus points. And how about Trey moving to the inside? Jordan Edwards. It might not be a surprise because he won the Daytona 500. He's looking good so far here at Talladega. However, he was the slowest car in qualifying. So great to see the A3 has that race pace and moving up now 3rd place on the inside, trailing Richardson Yepes down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to talk about someone who seems to be really good at tracks like super speedways. It's at 83. And, I mean, Joe, he hasn't really shown up any other track, but whenever we come to, like, Daytona or this place, he always seems to find himself up front.
Yes, he does. Jordan Edwards, though, definitely one of the more talented drivers that we've seen, and has delivered this car to some decent finishes. A car that might not be the best, and we'll have to see what happens with Fitz Bradshaw Racing, because as mentioned, his team owner to his inside, Lathan Strickland, moving on from DEI. This is a DEI affiliated team, so will it move to maybe a Hendrick affiliated team, or will it just disband or stay with DEI? We'll have to see how it works out over the offseason.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a sticky situation. I don't know how you go about that one. I'll be curious to see how that one all plays out here. But speaking of the owner of that 83, Lathan Strickland's on the bottom here. He's actually pushing the 45 to the front of the field right now. Actually, he decided to leave him.
Yes, he did. Lathan Strickland going 3 wide for the lead. The homegrown hero is now out in front at Talladega. Block back there. Sarah Kirchner did not want Jamie Stamford Jr. getting to the inside. Number 40 protected the bomb. Now looking low. Riley Spurley the 28 gets in line. But it's Lathan Strickland, the Alabama native, off turn number 4. Looks like he's going to try and lead in that Auburn paint scheme. As you can see back there, Trey, they're getting very close back in the pack. They are about 3 rows of 4 wide back there.
22 scraped the wall coming off of turn 4 there. I thought he was going to bounce back into the track, but he just grazed it. So luckily they were able to keep it clean. I thought we were going to have another close call incident, Joe.
Yeah, we don't want many crashes, if any, here today, because it's so great, Trey, to see a pack of 42 cars racing for the checkered flag at the end of 38 laps here at Talladega.
Here's something we haven't seen all day. That 15 and 20 and the 5. Well, that 15. Yeah, never mind. He decided to get back up in the line, but they're slowly starting to leave themselves from everyone else here. Look at that.
Yeah, the front 5 have gotten single file. Gotta give an attaboy to the man in 5th. Hunter Reed, that number 45. He is a rookie to this series, but he hasn't been driving like it this season, Trey. He's currently battling for the top 15 in points, and for a rookie in a team like Petty Enterprise, that's a great feeling for Hunter Reed at this moment, how great he's done so far this season, and looking for maybe an upset win here at Talladega.
Definitely. I mean, it shows that you can put confidence into a new guy into the series, as well as you can have confidence in your cars able to keep up with, some of these bigger names team. Because, I mean, you got RCR up there, you got Hendrick, you got Gibbs, you got DEI, and you have a Roush not too far back. So, I mean, Joe, those are the major stables, and your car's hanging up there with those guys. So, I mean, that's just something that, finish first or not, you got to go home happy with a smile on your face after that.
Now he's getting swallowed up by MB2 Tim Gary and Roush Jordan Stout, so he's going to be on the backwards train, but it's still Lathan Strickland leading this race. We've seen so far, Trey, the cars that get out in front and be able to hold it the best are the DEI cars. We saw Eli Bright do it early on. Now Lathan Strickland and his teammate doing just the same. Atkins had to look out the number 30, but couldn't get it done. Keegan Thompson is up to 3rd place with a nice run onto the front 2. Maybe he'll take this to the inside with help from Riley Sprotube, but it looks like Riley goes even lower than number 28, going for 2nd place.
That was a I'll help you until it can benefit me type of deal right there. But really, I don't think it really helped him very much, because now he's even with Keegan, but kind of losing a little bit of space to that 30.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that run very much stalled out once he made that move, and the 30 was able to get the draft from the 15 and power back by. Here comes 2nd in points, Sebastian Kukulon trying to get that lap lead. This time he's moving up for 3rd place on the inside. That run sustained big time. And I think a reason for that is because he has Eli Bright, the fastest car here, pushing him forward. So Kukulon to 3rd, and here comes the poster. Eli Bright back up to 4th. Yepes going for 5th and the number 44, but they're all trying to chase down the front 2 of Lathan Strickland and Justin Atkins. They've kind of broken away from the 3 wide pack behind.
You think this was last season that 8 and 29 would be working together like this?
Yeah, I don't really know, because it was Atkins last season. And
well, look at that. They're really working together. Well, never
it's
mind.
The same thing we saw last lap, except this time it might work for Eli Bright and making the DEI 1-2 as Lathan Strickland, who qualified 4th, leads this race. Eli Bright, who qualified 1st, moves to 2nd place. It's a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated 1-2, and Dale Lightning has to be thrilled seeing both those cars running well, but Eli Bright has the power tray without really any help. He's moving low, and Lathan Strickland for the lead.
What did they do to this car, Joe? I mean, he is on absolute rocket ships tonight, or today.
I can't believe that it's working this well. I thought that maybe, once we got into the draft, it'd be a different story, but I guess that's why he was fastest in practice as well, because it's looking pretty fast in the draft. But Evan Hunter also looks pretty fast here today, that number 36, and Conrad Evans, 3 wide for the lead through the drival. Who leads the 13th lap here at Talladega? Will it be Bright on the outside, Evans on the inside? It's going to be the 31 on the inside to lead that lap for 5 bonus points.
Yeah, if there was anyone not to stay in line, it's probably going to be that 31.
Yes, it is. Conrad Evans being very aggressive. He's 3rd in the points, about 50 points back of the points lead entering this race. So we'll see if he can try and move past his teammate Kukulon and Keyshawn Richardson to get his way into the points lead. Now here comes Brandon Beal. He was pretty slow in qualifying, but now moving up nice on the inside. And here comes two of the Hendrick guys that did not qualify all that well, including Justin Seidel, qualified 39th on speed. Here's this number 24, moving low, second on the inside lane. He had a really good comeback trade from a poor starting spot at Dover, but his pit crew kind of led down the pits. He finished just outside the top 10 and 11th. He was the highest finishing Hendrick car that day. He's looking for something positive to just add to his resume for this season.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to hop up into the middle lane there right in front of his HMS teammate Brett Sierra, but Joe, I don't think the middle line's where you want to be right now because that's just going to kind of stall out, really. And actually, we're going to be 3 by 3 throughout the entire field right now.
Yeah, there's one row of 4 right back there. Luke Ranger's got shoved forward. Otherwise, it's basically 3 wide all the way back as they race down the back straightaway. This is another driver that needs something to just lift the spirits of the season for Laura Chung in the number 9. It's been a very hard luck season for her. We'll see if she can try to get a dump. Here comes Zachary DeLello, who failed inspection after qualifying for the 2nd straight week. Moving with help from Chris Jericho, the 18, who did not qualify all that well, and they're now 1-2. Jericho, though, has 1 year at Talladega in the past.
They're 4 wide, pretty close to that front there. They might want to be careful.
Yeah, you know, it got pretty calm for a while, Trey, and now they're starting to ramp it back up, coming towards the midpoint.
Yeah, what happened? What caused that?
I think this, you know, maybe some spiders or crew chiefs came over the radio and said, "All right, we're nearing the final 20 laps. Maybe start being a little bit more aggressive with your moves."
Close. There was almost contact between that 4 and 29 in the middle of the pack.
Look at this. Lathan Strickland, Zachary Fitzgerald Sr. way up top 4 wide. They're trying to drop out of it so that if a crash happens to their inside, they're not the ones involved. Chris Jericho moving for the lead. Cement Oskin top to bottom, going down for 2nd place. Jericho no help. Can't get to the inside of Zachary DeLello, and now they're 3 wide for 2nd place. And here comes Brett Sierra and Matthew Burnett and Mathis Wells to the inside lane.
I don't know how he made that move work because I didn't think he was clear there for a second, but he forced his way to the bottom. It's actually going to end up helping him out here. Now Brett Sierra is going to jump to the inside of that 26.
Brett Sierra has help from Matthew Burnett. He is the only Hendrick driver inside the top 15 in points. He's currently 12th, so he's not even inside the top 10. Brett Sierra trying to move back forward in the points. He was fighting for the championship 1 season ago. He's now middle of 3 for the lead because here comes Matthew Burnett to the inside of the number 17. Has help from Mathis Wells, who rebounded nicely at Dover with the top 3 result. He's trying to get some more here at Talladega. He's 2nd place and hunting for the lead off turn 2.
You know what the nice thing about this place is? So we don't got to worry about pit stops.
That is true. Yeah, there is no pit stops required, so these drivers will stay 42 cars packed together unless they crash them. Here comes Colin Teague, one of the underfundeds. In fact, it's a line of underfundeds on the bottom. Troy, we have BAM Racing, Fitz Bradshaw Racing, a Petty car. We have Melling Racing. We have Morgan McClure Motorsports, PPI, another Petty car. And then even further back, I think that's Nathan Stapleton, another Morgan McClure car. So all the underfundeds are coming to the front of the field around the midway point.
Well, Joe, if one underfunded team can't beat one of the top guys, how about pretty much all of them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the underfunded teams are in this inside lane. So Colin Teague led that lap, 5 bonus points there. Here comes Roberto Crown Jr. He'll grab the lead away in the number 43. Remember, he got a win last season in funky circumstances at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. He's looking for maybe one of more legit circumstances here at Talladega. Race his way to the victory, but here comes Baby Ruiz for Melling and Jamie Stammer Jr. A fire underneath him because he missed Dover even though he qualified inside the top 20. Stanworth moving 3 wide for the lead.
I thought that 32 was going to get pushed 4 wide for the leader right there. I would have been very impressed by that. But you were talking about, Roberto Crown Jr.'s win. I still say that to this day. Honestly, my top 3 favorite wins.
It was
out of my whole career
cool win.
too. Out of my whole career.
Oh, okay.
That's no. It's top 3 out of everything I've seen.
That's amazing.
It is. I was so man, dude, I felt so good.
It was a very feel-good win for Roberto Crown Jr. last season at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. His teammate Hunter Reed just led that lap for 5 bonus points, and now Stanworth's teammate Nathan Stapleton moves out in front. But here comes the 2nd fastest car here. He's only 1/1000th off of the pole lap. It was Riley Spurley looking for his first win of the season in trade. This is a driver we've not really talked about much this season, but he's quietly 6th in the point standings.
I thought, that's good. I thought his teammate was about to put him middle of 4 wide there.
We're 5 wide. There they go! Into the outside wall. It's the big one at Talladega. Many cars are involved. Lathan Strickland, Eli Bright took to the inside. Miller a hard hit. Mitchell Collins involved. Chris Jericho, last season's champion. Brandon Beal. Zachary DeLello. Laura Chung. Evan Hunter, the winner of this race last season. His teammate Tim Gary also involved. First yellow at the midpoint, and Nathan Stapleton Trey leads the way in the number 71. Jack Austin 2nd.
I didn't even notice that. I was looking at the 28, and then you said we were 5 wide, and about 10 cars went up into the outside wall.
And that is so unfortunate, as there were a lot of good stories back there. Matthew Burnett got spun!
Oh!
And it collected Matt as well. So it was Samet Osgood who got against him, and Nathan Baird runs into it as well.
What happened there?
I have no clue. It looked like Samet Osgood just kept coming down into the number 17, and that's a lot of damage to all three of those cars involved.
If that's the case, I don't think NASCAR is going to like that one very much. But yeah, that just took out two of the top guys. And is this Wells running up to the back of him? He might not be the happiest right now.
Yeah, Mathis Wells was an innocent bystander, top of 3 wide in that, just trying to sort it out. He gave them room and just got run over. Oh my, that is terrible.
Yeah, that's yeah, and that 17 looks like he's staying to the bottom there. Might be leaking something, so he doesn't want to risk it. Never mind. Well, yeah, he is. Okay.
He's probably a little bit angry behind the wheel, too. They're going to try and obviously keep that car in the race because he comes in 4th in the points, wants to get as many as he can get because he's within 100 points of the points leader. But a massive crash occurred at the back of the field, about 10 cars, as Trey mentioned, into the outside concrete. We'll go see what happened here at the Talladega Superspeedway. First caution flag here in the Aaron's 499. Well, Trey, we've talked about how 5 wide probably isn't going to work at a track like Talladega. 4 wide barely does, and right there, Nathan Baird forced a 5 wide moment. Jack Carter nowhere to go. Laura Chung, Chris Jericho, Zachary DeLello, Mitchell Collins, Tim Gary, Brandon Beal, and Evan Hunter. Then the 21 comes back down into Jacob Miller, who has nowhere to go. He bounces off Zidell and Nathan Strickland back up the racetrack. Luckily, the car stays on all 4s, but goes up hard to the outside concrete. Nathan Baird almost involved as well. Justin Atkins after the crash.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, this is just a classic Dega big one. I mean, nothing you can really do about a 5 wide situation. And a track like this, Joe, you know, whatever comes up must come down. And it involved a couple more cars once those guys started sliding back down the track. But a lot of really good cars junked up in this one.
Yeah, both MB2 cars we thought would be threats. Last season's champion, Chris Jericho, Mitchell Collins has won at a Super Speedway before, but a lot of these cars are junked here in the first accident of the day at Talladega. We'll go take a look at this wreck one more time in full speed. Here it is, entering turns 3 and 4 once again at full speed. There's the contact, the majority of the crash right there. And then Jacob Miller hard into the outside concrete in turn number 4.
You know, for how hard the 57 hit, doesn't really look like he's too terribly damaged right now. But, I mean, look at all those guys. And then we had a incident down the road here, Joe.
Yes, we did. So there's Samet Osgood, middle of 4. With Mathis Wells to his outside, Matthew Burnett on the inside. Everyone is trying to sort it out here. You see Jose Mills got down to the apron, and right here, Wells all the way up the track, and Samet Osgood. Look at.
Is that issues or something?
Yeah, I have no clue what could have precipitated that. I mean, you normally wouldn't want to do that at a track like Talladega. Save it for next week at Richmond.
It looks like he went down a little bit and then stalled and then just went down again into the 17. So maybe something happened on the track that we didn't notice, and sadly it involved Wells, who wasn't even a part of it. But we'll have to maybe get a word from him after this race, or I don't know, but he might need to go have a chat with NASCAR after this.
Yeah, I bet NASCAR probably ain't the happiest, and we might, maybe we'll hear word in a little bit that he's called to the hauler or something. I don't know, but we'll let NASCAR deal with all that. Meanwhile, at the front, it's some of the underfunded leading the way. Nathan Stapleton is the current race leader with Jack Haas right on his bumper for the first restart of the day here in the Aaron's 499 at the Talladega Superspeedway. 17 laps to go at the green flag for Nathan Stapleton and Jack Haas. They are 1-2 here at Talladega. 2 cars are in the garage and done for the day. They are Tim Gary and unfortunately Matthew Burnett in the number 17, who was involved in the accident after the yellow, is also out, but there's still 40 cars out there running. We'll see which cars can stay up to pace with the draft and which are going to fall out and possibly be involved in some lap traffic by the end of it. So we have Nathan Stapleton leading the way, Jack Haas the one in second, back from a race off at Dover, looking to get back with the sweetest of things, a race victory. Riley Sproat, who quietly 6th in the points, is 3rd on the racetrack. Remember, he started 2nd in this race. Nolan Lawrence continuing his impressive season up to 4th, and Keegan Thompson looking for his first win of the season and his first win of the season for Hendrick Motorsports in 5th. You have Hunter Reed, the rookie, in 6th. Conrad Evans looking to get to the points lead in 7th. Luke Rennie is in 8th, looking for his first of the season. Keyshawn Richardson looking for his third of the season. We're going back-to-back and keep the points lead. He's in 9th, and Noah Clifton looking for his first ever. He rounds out the top 10 for this restart. Watch for middle of the pack. Mathis Wells in number 20. He has some damage from that crash after the yellow. And watch at the back. Chris Jericho, Zachary DeLello have damage. Samet Oskin, Mitchell Collins, Evan Hunter, Laura Chung. Chris Jericho might have some issues back there. Brandon Beal, Jacob Miller also have damage. Jack Carter has some slight damage. We'll see which of these drivers has issues going, or can they all stay in this 40-car draft. As the green flag is back out, Nathan Stapleton leads the way, but Jack Hostre, what a great jump he got on the restart.
Yeah, he definitely outweighted Stapleton there and got a really good jump, but Stapleton's going to have the bottom line, and Jack's now, he's by himself.
Yeah, he thought he pulled an impressive start. Unfortunately, he's probably going to lose all these spots in the file inside lane as the race down the back straightaway. Here comes Riley Sprugden for the lead, and already at the back, a lot of cars slower off the pace. Samet Oskin, one of them, Zachary DeLello, Chris Jericho, Mitchell Collins, Evan Hunter also losing touch with the main draft as we're 3 wide for the lead. Nolan Lawrence to the inside, number 19.
Oh, Joe, do you think we'll see those cars again?
It depends.
Yeah, at the back of the pack.
If we get another yellow flag, we might be all right. But if it stays green to the end, we probably will catch them at least once, which is unfortunate. It might mess up this amazing battle at the front of the field as Hunter Reed looks to lead another lap in the number 45, and will do just that. But here comes the point sitter, Keyshawn Richardson. He's looking for another lap as well on the number 99. He has Beebe Ruiz pushing him forward, and Keyshawn Richardson takes the lead with 16 laps to go here at Talladega.
I mean, Joe, there wasn't that many cars that, were... Let me rephrase it. There was not that many cars that were involved in the wreck that was at the back of the pack, but I mean, look how spread out we are now, given that Wells started pretty much in the middle of it. I mean, all those guys back there. You got Eli Bright that's back there that's slowly fading from the draft here. So it'll be interesting to see who the new top dog is now, given that we are down to fewer people than we were expecting.
Yeah, Eli's hoping that the 2 and the 24 in front can cancel out that double file, get single file, and they can make a run up onto the 3 wide pack. Because remember, if they're 3 wide, that many rows deep, they're punching a huge hole in the air. They get a nice run. They got single file, so I think those 3 should be fine. But Nathan Baird and Brandon Beal at the back with Mathis Wells, they'll also lose the draft as we're 3 wide for the lead. It's Sebastian Kukulon second in the points, down to the inside, moving aside. Jamie Stammer Jr. and Beebe Ruiz, and RCR leads again with Kukulon looking for back-to-back Talladega victories. But here comes Roberto Crown Jr. and Kukulon's teammate Conrad Evans moves low to the inside, number 31.
Was that crazy to think that after that wreck, these guys would calm it down?
I think you were. Yeah, you're a race car driver. You know how it is at Talladega. You never calm down.
Yeah, but I was hoping that these guys would have learned eventually. But you know what? I guess I'm just proving wrong.
Speaking of Talladega races, let's go to our Advanced Auto Parts question of the week. From last week, we had asked about Dover. Should they continue racing there if they don't have the required number of pit stalls to have a 42-car race? And the fans said no, they should not at 68%. So majority, Trey, about 2/3 say don't race at Dover unless they get to the 42 pit stalls.
I think that's another win for me, isn't it?
That is another win for you.
I'm so good.
Yes, you are. But at the front of the field, it's RCR versus Hendrick Motorsports. When was the last time we said that? I don't know. But here they are. First, second for RCR, and third, fourth for Hendrick. They're moving up on the inside. But this week's Advanced Auto Parts question of the week about the Talladega Superspeedway and the Daytona International Speedway. What is the best part of the Superspeedway racing? Is it the close racing? Is it the crashes? Is it the upset winners? Or is it the fast speeds?
The close racing, of course. I mean, close racing brings pretty much all those other options into this. I mean, you think about it, right? If we didn't have close racings, we wouldn't have, upset winners because anyone could win in a close racing type of scenario. We wouldn't have fast speeds because the draft definitely helps that out. We wouldn't have the big crashes like we almost just had right there with the 29 and Lathan Strickland if these guys weren't so close together going, 200 plus miles an hour. So I think the easiest answer would be the close racing.
Could argue they would be even faster if they weren't close.
No.
Yeah.
Not how that works. No.
It is because they have restrictor plates, Trey.
Well, then we take the restrictor plates off. I think we should take them off.
So then you wouldn't like
that's
the close
question.
racing then.
That's next week's question.
Next week's question. Should they? Well,
yep.
Well, we know the people who say close racing would already say no to that because it would spread the racing out. So.
Anyways, my answer is the close racing.
All right. Well. As we mentioned that, Lathan Strickland has gone from the back on this restart to the front. He's brought his teammate for the first time today, Anthony Hernandez up inside the top 5, so it's a DEI 1-2 again, but with 2 different drivers, and Lathan Strickland, the homegrown heroes mentioned, leads the way with Hernandez in second, looking for his first ever victory, and here comes Jack Haas in that number 77, still a force to be reckoned with in these final 10 or so laps.
Wouldn't that be something that he comes back after a scary crash like he had and wins at a place that is just as scary?
Yeah, that would be a huge story for Jack Haas. He's trying to do it. He's up to 3rd place, keeping that 3rd spot from Keegan Thompson. Hernandez right onto the back of Lathan Strickland as they race off 4. Keegan hangs a left to get to the inside. Jack Haas coming back around to 11 to go. And something, about DEI is that the last time we were at a DEI driver's home track, it was Anthony Hernandez at Texas World. He led a lot of laps, but he didn't win the race. It was his teammate, Eli Bright, that did it for his first ever victory. Now we're at another DEI driver's home track. Lathan Strickland is leading a lot of laps, but could it be maybe Anthony Hernandez who steals and wins his first ever race as lap traffic Trey Mitchell Collins about to be caught in 10 laps to go?
I was going to say, Joe, did you see what I saw on the horizon?
And it's not looking nice.
Well, luckily these front few guys are kind of spread out, so that shouldn't be too bad. But the real problem is the pack behind them, because they're pretty spread out back there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're going to catch him right here about probably the trial, leaving the trial.
Oh, he doesn't have a hood.
He does not have a hood on that number 12 car. With now 10 laps to go, we're going to sweep around the outside. Everyone trying to stay in the gas as fast as they can. Hunter Reed almost ran the 12 over. Collins gets to the outside. Reed gets to the inside. The front 5 get away. And now 6th on back. Need to find a way around in a timely manner to then get in each other's draft and maintain touch with the front 5.
Yeah, did this just become a 5-car race? I don't know.
It could have. I mean, this field's getting so spread out behind, they don't really have the help. But these front 5 battle like this, it could help. As now we have Strickland, Hernandez, Thompson, Jack Haas, and Riley Spurgeon 1 through 5. Then Hunter Reed in 6th, Colin Teagan 7th. The teammates of Stout and Richardson 8th and 9th. Fitzwater's 10th. They have Yepez 11th, Zidell 12th, Mills 13th, Sierra 14th, Kirchner is 15th, Ruiz is 16th. They have Stapleton and Rando. Atkins has moved around. Evans and Eli Bright, Stanworth, and still held up are Luke Rainey and Noah Clifton. And second in points, Kukulan trying to find a way to the inside of Mitchell Collins.
Oh, don't come down. Just stay right there, the Mitchell.
And it looks
Man,
like,
we really need to teach these guys how to act like a lap car sometimes, huh?
Yeah, maybe just run the wall.
Just stay out of run the apron. You can do it.
You can see up the road, they are fanning out, trying to find a way to catch those front 5 right here.
Those guys are gone. They're up almost 3 seconds.
But you also have to know there's more drivers back here, so the speeds will be faster. So we'll have to see, will these 5 be able to hold on for 8 more laps? Can they stay committed? And they might lose Jack Haas here. The 77 got shuffled out by Riley Spurgeon, and he's trying to maintain touch, and that Thompson making that move might actually help him.
Yeah, I think that's going to, as they're still staying single file, and they actually gained a lot more time on them. Now it's at 3.2 seconds, so we'll have to see what happens here as that 77 is still falling off the pace there. He could hold up whenever there's a car behind him, but if he's the last one in the line, he just falls right back. But Thompson's going to make a move to the inside of Hernandez here, which could help, but he just can't get that run.
Yeah, it just slows them down. If you're in this front 5, you would want to probably stay single file, because coming around to 7 laps to go, can the pack gain the time they need to run these front 5 down? I don't know, but Lathan Strickland's hoping they can't, and he's also hoping that these drivers can just stay in line behind him so that they don't catch. Jack Haas keeps, flirting with losing or not, because these guys keep making moves. That could help Haas right there as Riley Spurgeon moves low, but now Keegan Thompson moves low for 2nd place, and the rest of the pack behind is getting a little bit sorted out. We'll have to see, but they have still lost time, but now the battle for 2nd is going to slow these 5 cars down.
I guess the 5th time's the charm with Keegan making a move on Hernandez there. Oh, I don't like that.
Now Riley Spurgeon has moved up to 3rd. We're just going to pretend we did not see the 3 or 4
I saw it though,
Joe.
I saw it though.
And we hope that those drivers are fast enough using the draft that they have to stay out of touch with these front 5.
I don't know, man. Oh, this isn't going to help.
No, this is
That's not going to help at all.
Down for sure. But these guys back here, they're also not single file. They're battling very aggressively. So while the front 5 battle, if these guys were single file, they'd be catching, probably a second a lap. but now they're not catching at all, as Lathan Strickland has a pretty nice lead in the number 15 with now 6 laps to go. Riley Sprotube now the one in second place, and see that pack back there? They're trying to close in. It was 3.4 last time. They only closed in by half a tenth that time. It's because they keep battling.
These guys finally going to figure it out here. Hernandez is going to drop down, leaving Thompson the one on the outside. But I guess Jack decided he wanted to go for second too. They're actually going to be 3 wide. No.
He just shut the door, and Hernandez in the middle lane. He moves up to try and get a push from the 1 car because I think he knew he had no drafting up whatsoever. The 5's going to clear him back, so he knew he had to try and get up in front of a car so that he could get the push to stay with this pack. As these front 5 are still spread out single file, Lathan Strickland still leading at Talladega. Riley Sprotube with the one in second. Keegan Thompson now third. Do they have something for Lathan Strickland in these final 5 laps?
I think we're going to catch those cars here in about a lap or 2.
I think we are. But
we keep getting closer to them.
Well, here they move out again as they battle.
Oh, no.
Now, that was a big gain for the pack last lap. They gained about half a second. Can they keep doing that? And will they have the time? And will this lap traffic help out?
Well, let's see who it is. 26, 38, or the 36, I mean, and Jericho.
Yep,
and they're side by side.
And then up the road, we have the 21. I don't know if he'll be caught again, but now this is going to hurt these 5. They're going around the outside, but can they get around the outside of all 3? Or will the 36 or the 18 come up, shut the door, and slow them up even more? It's going to be that.
Jericho's going to do it. Jericho, no, you were better than this.
And Jack Haas trying to go even lower in the 77 to get some spots, but now all the lap cars move to the inside, and Lathan Strickland is going to lead 4 cars around the outside with now 4 laps to go. The pack is closing in, but can they negotiate the lap traffic in a timely enough manner to have a shot?
Well, given that Lathan now has separated himself, and they're actually 2 wide with lap traffic, Lathan might be able to give himself a nice lead, but if these guys get clear, he's going to be a sitting duck. Look at that pack. They're coming like a group of monsters right now.
Yeah, and I don't know, like right here, trying to work your way through lap traffic, that's got to be infuriating. There is that hungry pack of cars now running up onto the 3 lap cars, and Jack Haas as well. Now for second place goes Keegan Thompson. Here's this pack of cars. They get halted behind Samet Ozgen in the number 26. So Ozgen needs to try and move out of the way here, or else he might get swallowed up and possibly wrecked by some of these guys. But look at, he's staying right there. Conrad Evans trying to find a way around. The inside's going to be the place with Keyshawn Richards, and they have to get around 2 more lap cars with now 3 laps to go. Strickland still leads. Thompson the one in second. Hernandez in third. Riley Sprotube in fourth. Hernandez looked out but couldn't make it work as they race into turn 1.
Oh my goodness, these guys they lost a second. That pack almost pretty much gained a second on these guys, right? But now they're stuck behind Jericho, and oh, look at the move Richardson just did to get out from behind him.
Richardson with a big move, but I think they're going to need more interference. I just don't know if they're fast enough to catch them in 2 laps. Still Strickland leading the way. Thompson in second. Here, they're going to catch Jack Carter
they might get it.
and Mitchell Collins again. So there's 2 more lap cars for the front 4 to have to negotiate. Haas in 5th is in a world of his own, just hoping it can maybe end out how it is, because it's a really good point save for the 77 if it ends like this.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't catch this 21 in the middle of a corner, which I don't think they're going to, they should be good. But the next problem is that 12. I mean, look how slow he is.
So they caught the 21 in a good place. Move to the inside of turn 1, 2 to go.
This
But now
one.
Collins, middle of the corner. They sweep around the outside, the front 4 do. Very little interference there. The front 4 now clear of lap traffic. It's a 4-car race here at Talladega Trey. 2 DEI cars, a Hendrick car, and a Robert Yates car. Which the 4 is going to win? We're going to find out. Strickland has had the most laps today, looking for his first win of the season, and we're coming around to the white flag here at Talladega.
I mean, think of what a win would mean for any 4 of these guys, right? You got Lathan in his hometown. You got Keegan, who's been extremely upset with Hendrick here. You got Hernandez going for his first, and then you got the 28 there also going for a win that would just be absolutely enormous for his team.
Well, here is the white flag for these 4. 1 final lap. Thompson looking to make a gap onto Strickland to have a run onto him in this final lap. But will Anthony Hernandez be a good team player and help Strickland out and not necessarily help Thompson out as they race off 2 for the final time and down the back straightaway?
We'll have to see if he can get any sort of a run here. Actually, Hernandez jumped out from behind Thompson, so he doesn't get a run. So, Joe, I think that team play came into effect.
I think it did. Now, Sarah Kirchner just came off pit road. We'll have to see if she's up to speed fast enough to where she doesn't really hold up these 4, I don't think she's going to hold anyone up as they battle off turn number 4 for the final time. Lathan Strickland on Friday had announced that he will be leaving DEI, moving over to Hendrick Motorsports at season's end, and DEI is going to deliver him a victory at his home track. Checker flag is up for Lathan Strickland in the Auburn car at Talladega.
That worked out a lot better for them than I thought, and here comes everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else now just kind of, oh, look at Jack Haas, how many spots he
Jack's
lost there.
So many spots.
But Lathan Strickland, he did it here at Talladega. He announced the move from DEI, and I don't know, maybe it was premature, because right here, DEI just delivered him a victory at his home track.
You think he's might possibly be starting to regret it?
Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely moved up a lot of spots in points, though. He was 14th entering the day. He's going to move up even more, and this will probably make it all 3 DEI cars are above any of the Hendrick cars in points.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's... I mean, I'm happy for him, and he's definitely... I guess you can argue he's on a championship run, but how is his team going to be affected by, like you said, the news he brought out now that he's starting to win races and be more consistent with the DEI organization starting to, ramp up? Who's DEI going to favor? Eli Bright, who's been more of the, consistent bias there, or Strickland, who seems to be one of the stronger guys, but he's leaving next season.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for DEI to sort out as we get into the second third of the season. But for Lathan Strickland, it's a victory at his home track and an Auburn paint scheme. You got to love that for sure here at Talladega. I'm sure the fans, this is going to be an emotional win for Strickland and the fans alike.
I mean, definitely, and there's going to be another big celebration. My plane might get trashed again, but I guess I'll just I'll allow it.
Yeah, so that's DEI's second victory of the season. Think about, when we go to the drafting track, so far it's been DEI affiliate, Fitzbradshaw Racing, Jordan Edwards, DEI at Texas World, DEI here at Talladega, so they have a pretty good drafting package figured out. Let's see if it carries over into the next races where drafting is a big play, as Lathan Strickland claims victory here at Talladega, leading the most laps and was just out front at the right time without lap traffic coming into play, and the rest of the pack could never close in. It was a 4-car race at the end. Keegan Thompson the one in second. Anthony Hernandez continues his run of good races in third. Riley Springtube last car in the pack in fourth. Then fifth place, the car leading that main pack, Jordan Stout, good run for him. Jamie Stammer Jr., a really good run in sixth for the number 4. Then seventh to Jay Rando, good run, that's another Hendrick car inside the top 10. Baby Rose, a good run for Melling in 8th. Sebastian Kukulon might gain some points back for the points lead. He ends up in 9th, and his teammate, Justin Atkins, gets a top 10 number 30 as well. Brett Seaver just outside the top 10 in 11th. Jose Mills ends up in 12th. Diego Yepes, Nathan Stapleton, and Conrad Evans top 15. So 3 of the RCR cars, once again, top 15 results. Our points leader entering the race, Keyshawn Richardson, ends up in 18th place. Should be enough to keep the points lead, but the points should get just even more narrow as both the 30 and the 31 and the 29 finished in front of him. Unfortunately, the other driver inside the top 5 that didn't finish in front of him was Matthew Burnett, involved in that crash, and all 3 Petty cars ended up inside the top 20 with Bert Crown Jr. 19th and Hunter Reed in 20th. Zidell down there 21st. Jordan Edwards, winner at Daytona, gets 23rd. Colin Teague and Jack Haas were pretty good throughout the day. They got 24th and 25th. Luke Rainey 26th. He had lost the draft. As we look down here, a lot of these damaged cars, 35 cars ended up on the lead lap. 1 lap down, we caught once for Jack Carter, Evan Hunter, Chris Jericho, and Samet Oskin. We caught Mitchell Collins 2 times. He finished 2 laps down. The cars out, Matthew Burnett and Tim Gary, both from that only accident of the day here at Talladega. And as we look at the points tray, it's timed up between Keyshawn Richardson and the 3 RCR guys.
Yeah, that's Joe. I mean, remember how hostile they were to each other, and now they're actually nice, and they're in the race for this championship so far this season. Isn't it kind of weird how things work out?
It is kind of weird how those trends, if you're nice to your teammates, the whole team normally survives and thrives pretty well. And last season, when your teammates are in fighting and there's all that drama around the team, then you struggle a lot.
I think literally fighting too was one of the problems.
Yeah, fighting was one of the problems, and so far this season they've kept it under control. We'll have to see if they can keep it like that for the next 21 races, including the next race out. We're going back short track racing at the Richmond International Raceway for the Pontiac Excitement 400 Trey. Richmond, always one of the fan favorite racetracks we can go to, and Lathan Strickland won there last season. Maybe he'll go back-to-back in the season at Richmond.
That would be very good for that team, but Joe, I don't know. Richmond's a tough track, so really, I think it's up to anyone to win that one.
We'll have to see if one of the Pontiacs can rise to the occasion. Joe Gibbs Racing or MB2 Motorsports and the Pontiac, some others as well. We'll have to see if they can try and get to victory lane in their sponsored race. But what a race we saw here at Talladega on the Aaron's 499 with Lathan Strickland winning here at Talladega. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rokowski. So long from the Talladega Superspeedway, and tune into JRTV next week for race number 12 from the Richmond International Raceway.